Welcome to our Tuesday check-in here at Westminster United Church in Thunder Bay. Welcome to all of you, and if this is your first time with us, I'll offer a special welcome to you and let you know that we are here on our Facebook page live on Tuesday mornings at 11, Thursday evenings at 7 for evening prayer, and Sunday mornings at 10 for a time of prayer and reflection prior to the shared United Church worship service that happens over on the Trinity Live website. Stay tuned to your worship notes in your email inbox for all upcoming news and happenings at Westminster. And if you know someone who would like to be on that list but isn't, just let Tammy know, and we'll get in contact with people who want to be kept informed and would like to know what's happening at our church. Speaking of what's happening at our church, I hope by now you have seen or heard Kim's message about our reopening. You should have received a special email on Friday, and I mentioned it's Sunday in our prayer and reflection time. And in Kim's message, she mentions that our board's decision on Thursday night last week is to maintain our online worship presence and work toward putting safety protocols in place for a possible opening into our sanctuary with appropriate limits and restrictions, sometime possibly in September. So for this time over the summer, the board and a special subcommittee will be working on what needs to happen at the church before we can all go back in the building. And we're also still looking for gardeners. If you have a few hours a week you can spare to come and do a bit of weeding or watering, just contact the church office, and Tammy will put you in contact with Bev, who is our garden coordinator. You don't need a lot of gardening skill for this. It really is just a few hours a week just to keep all the plants watered and to pull a few weeds. So if you can do that, let us know. So I wanted to share a story with you this morning that I found relevant to our current discussions about systemic cultural racism and other issues that are important to us as a church and as people of faith. And really part of it is that it speaks to our need to be more than simply not racist. We need to be anti-racist. But the story is wider than that even. So it's part of a Netflix documentary about Garth Brooks, the country singer. And it's a two-part documentary, but this part stood out for me. It's a really good program. If you have Netflix, check it out. And for all of his success in the 80s and 90s, one of Garth Brooks' best songs never made it to the top 10. It's called We Shall Be Free, and it was written by Brooks and another songwriter, Stephanie Davis. And the music video for We Shall Be Free was directed by Timothy Miller, and it premiered in September of 1992. This video, if you saw it on the Facebook page, I posted it half an hour ago. If you haven't seen it, take a look after. It's filled with powerful imagery that was very disturbing to some people at the time. A new release of this video, sort of an updated version, happened in 2005, which included images that were relevant for that time, such as the World Trade Center bombings and the Iraq War. So that's the video that's posted this morning, because I couldn't find the older one, but the updated 2005 version is what's posted. Now, I think this video was way ahead of its time in terms of depicting issues of racism, poverty, and intolerance. Part of the reason this song didn't get much traction on the charts is that so many US radio stations simply refused to play it. They thought it was too controversial. Rodney King is shown in the video asking why people cannot just get along with one another. In the wake of the riots in Los Angeles following the acquittal of the police who so brutally attacked Rodney King, We Shall Be Free was seen as far too volatile to play on TV stations that were showing videos. And at the end of the video, the following statement is shown. It says, "This video is dedicated to the human spirit, unbreakable, relentless, free." Now, despite being banned on so many stations, the music video for We Shall Be Free won Video of the Year at the 1993 Academy of Country Music Awards. So as I mentioned, it's posted on the Facebook page. So take a look when we're done if you haven't seen it already. So here's the story I'm going to share. Garth Brooks was asked to sing the national anthem at the 1993 Super Bowl game. He and his management team put together a deal with the NFL that spelled out clearly his conditions, that he would sing the anthem, but the video for We Shall Be Free would be played on the big screens before that. The NFL signed off, but on game day, about 20 minutes before game time, the NFL decided to pull the video. They decided they couldn't play it because apparently they had watched it and decided that they couldn't possibly play it at their game. And again, watch the video and see what they found offensive. In any case, Garth, who was all dressed in his, country glory with cowboy boots and bling, told them that if the video was not played, he was not singing the anthem. NFL management actually went into the stands to find other musical performers who were attending the game and asked them if they would replace Brooks and sing the anthem. Every one of them said no. So while Brooks was in the dressing room taking off his fancy boots and putting his sneakers back on and reaching for his jacket, he hears one of the security guards shouting into his walkie-talkie saying he's about to get in a cab. When he stepped out into the hallway, he heard Bob Costas say to the crowd, "And now, let's take a look at this video from Garth Brooks. It's called We Shall Be Free." The video was played and it was seen by millions of people. Now, Garth says in the documentary that at the time, he saw the whole thing as a simple matter of honor. Not so much about the content of the video, but about an agreement between himself and the NFL. He said, they weren't going to hold up their side of the agreement, so I wasn't going to hold up mine. But in the end, he realized how important it was for that video to be seen and for that message of inclusivity and hope to be heard. And he was glad he stood his ground on showing the video. When I watch the video now, and though some of the language is antiquated for sure, such as the word mankind being used to describe humanity, but the message is one we need to hear today. Think about how these words were received in the US and elsewhere in 1992. When I close my eyes, I see the way this world shall be when we all walk hand in hand. When the last child cries for a crust of bread, when the last man dies for just words that he said. When there's shelter over the poorest head, we shall be free. When the last thing we notice is the color of skin, and the first thing we look for is the beauty within. When the skies and the oceans are clean again, we shall be free. When we're free to love anyone we choose. When this world's big enough for all different views. When we all can worship from our own kind of pew, then we shall be free. We shall be free. Now, those are radical, progressive words for 1992. and the words we need to hear in 2020. The Super Bowl 1993 story is where we're at right now. We need to take a stand for what's right. And that might mean calling ourselves out for the ways in which we haven't held up our end of the social and moral demand for equality and inclusivity. It might mean speaking up and saying the hard things when remaining silent would be easier. It means being uncomfortable and recognizing that nestled within our discomfort is our opportunity to learn and grow as human beings who share this planet together. Within that discomfort and within the learning that we are called to undertake right now is the voice of the divine, letting us know what is required of us: to do justice, to love kindness, and to walk humbly with our God. I think that's about it for my check-in for today. I hope you're all having a good start to the week, and we will see you back here Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Until then, be safe, be well, be kind.